An accounting-free, anonymous, zero-tax US LLC with high-level banking, with a private banker, reliable payment processing to do business all over the world. We make this dream become a reality, and we will explain you step by step how you can do it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Aziz Samuel Abdul Aziz Boubaous. I'm the CEO and founder of the whole Wealth Group, from wealth consulting to wealth corporate service provider to wealth estate to private processing. And in today's video, I will give you the ultimate step-by-step guide for US LLCs and banking and payment processing. We already uploaded a video last week where we explained you 10 reasons why US LLCs are still a no-brainer and the best company setup in the world for almost everything. So you should click this video, check this video out. But it's also highly requested that we just give you a step-by-step plan, because we incorporate US LLCs every single day. We open great bank accounts in the US every single day. We help our clients get good payment processing. And one of the frequently asked questions is, can you please just give me a time frame, a timeline, and can you explain me the specific steps? And this is exactly what I will do today. So step number one is obviously the company formation. The company formation is really easy. We just need a few informations from you. We need your passports, we need the company name, we need your address, and it's obviously great that you can set up the company remotely. 10 minutes of paperwork, and that's it basically. If you even don't want to do it online, you can even come to our office and do it there. And this is the company formation. Company formation takes 2 days. So it's really easy. After 2 days, you have your operating agreement, you have your articles of organization, your initial resolutions, and with this, you're good to go. You need to understand that company setup is usually the easiest and the cheapest parts, so there's nothing that can really go wrong. The only thing that you need to know is the difference between LLCs and C-Corps. Most non-US citizens, non-US residents always choose a LLC. LLC is easy to manage, especially as a single owner, and still you're not really subject to US tax if you don't have any substance in the US, if you're not living in the US, and an LLC is usually the way to go. But sometimes a C-Corp can also make sense. For example, I was just setting up a C-Corp in the US for a big product, and we have deals with supermarkets. We ship all over the country, and we have a lot of employees for this business. So in this case, a C-Corp makes sense, because for this type of company, I want to pay taxes, I want to exit this company, and that's why I decided for a C-Corp. But this is usually only for a few cases. Otherwise, most clients choose an LLC. Another question that clients, of course, always ask is, what is the best state to incorporate? Usually, we just recommend Wyoming. It's the #1 choice for most people, because Wyoming offers you to set up anonymous companies. It's really easy, really fast, and the #1 choice. But you can also incorporate in Wyoming. You can even incorporate in New York. There are many great states, but Wyoming is usually the place to go. And the second option is Florida, because obviously Florida also business friendly. You can do almost the same setup, but Wyoming is just easier to handle. And like I said, the company setup usually takes 2 days, and nothing can really go wrong there. Step number 2 in the whole setup is to get your EIN, your employment identification number. So now you have your company documents, but you also need your EIN, because without this EIN, you can't do anything. And you need to understand the system that usually, for example, with your Wyoming LLC, you have a registered agent. So the registered agent is in the public register. So in the public register, he is the owner and you are anonymous. But this registered agent has no power over your company. He can't open bank accounts. So who has the power over the company? Who can open bank accounts? It's you, after you have your EIN, because your name is in the operating agreement and your EIN is connected to the company. So your EIN is absolutely mandatory. We see that it's getting more and more delayed, to be honest. So now you can expect that it takes 3 or 4 weeks if you have zero history in the US and if it's your first application. So you basically need to wait for the EIN, or if you have already history in the US, like me, for example, I can open a company today and get the EIN at the same day. It just quickly and directly get the EIN. So it heavily depends on your history. So if you have no history, expect 3 to 4 weeks. If you have history, expect half a day, and then you have your EIN. Step number 3 for non-US citizens, non-US residents to build your US LLC banking setup is to apply for your ITIN, for your ITIN. And the ITIN takes 6 to 9 months if you have no history, which is usually the case because you only need to apply one time for the ITIN. Takes 6 to 9 months, and it can be annoying, but it's definitely necessary for you, and you don't need to be worried about it or afraid of it. You should definitely do it. If you have history, like me or like many other people, you don't need to apply for an ITIN anymore. Only one time, because the ITIN is the equivalent to the social security number for US citizens. So US citizens, everything is tied to their social. They need it to open bank accounts, to get credit cards, to get loans, to build credit score. And the ITIN is the lower level of social security, basically, but it has also some advantages compared to the social security, because the social security can bring you into the tax net, while you have the international tax identification number, which means you can have access to the whole US system. You can also build credit score. Yes, it's not exchanged to all credit bureaus, just one, but still you can build credit score. And you are still not fully in this tax net, but you can have all these advantages of the US system. So ITINs are necessary. So if you don't have any history, if it's your first application and you only need one, because later on for every company you need a new EIN, while you only need one ITIN, and then everything is connected to this ITIN, takes 6 to 9 months, while if you have history, you don't need to apply anymore and you can directly get started. And there we are directly at step 4. And step 4 works at the same time usually. And this is to open fintech bank accounts, because as soon as you have your company and your EIN, that's enough to open fintech bank accounts like Wise, like Relay, like Mercury. These are the top 3 fintech banks for US LLC. Wise is a no-brainer. Many people struggle with Wise, but honestly, it's just important to set up everything right so that you have the right business address in all your documents, that you give the right activity, that your website matches, that you have a good client support with the right number, that your transactions are not against the guidelines. And then it's actually easy to warm up Wise and really maximize Wise. So I have Wise business accounts since 5 years. I'm cashing out crypto. I was running millions through Wise. No issues, because I know how to handle Wise. While with Relay and Mercury, I had my issues and they blocked me after I made good money with them. So they are not reliable forever, but they're definitely good to get started, because you have a great app, great online banking. You can add employees to these banks. So, and even your employees can order cards with Relay, with Mercury. They can send wires for you. It's a great app. So I really enjoyed my first year with Relay and Mercury until I got this message that they don't want to work with me anymore. And then I realized I need good local banks. And this is usually the way to go. So if you make less than $500,000 per month, these fintech bank accounts are absolutely great for you, and they are created for you and they will work good. But if you make more than this, you need another solution that we will cover later on. But these fintech bank accounts are usually the best way to start. And at the same time, you can also open Stripe, which I always describe as the fintech bank account of the payment processing world, because Stripe is not a real payment processor. It's just a payment facilitator and aggregator. So you have the same issue maybe later on, that it's not a real bank or payment processor, just an intermediary. So the onboarding is fast, it looks great, but if you make millions and millions and millions, you probably need a safer solution later on. But for this time, until you get your ITIN, it's definitely the best solution for you. Then we have step number 5, and this is to open local bank accounts. Local bank accounts usually require that you have all these company documents, that you have your EIN, that you have your ITIN, that you have a utility bill, that you have an address in the US, that you have a good banker to go to, and then it's actually easy. I just go a little bit back to my history. So I did it exactly this way that I explained to you. The first 2 years, honestly, I had fintech banking, I got my ITIN, and I already had bank statements from Relay Mercury with millions and millions per month, which means, of course, it was more easy for me to get the local banking. And I only realized that I need good local banking once Relay and Mercury blocked me. And then I spent a lot of time in the US because it was actually really difficult for me to get good local bank accounts because I didn't have the connections. While you live in a dream situation where you don't need to struggle for years, you can just work with wealth consulting. And I just hand over all these connections, all this knowledge directly to you, and you save yourself a lot of time. It's obviously a no-brainer. So there are usually 2 ways that our clients go. The first way is we have clients who have time. Their business is not that big yet. So they say, hey, I go this regular route, I wait for my ITIN, and then I fly to the US, and then we prepare all documents for our clients, and they just go straight to our bankers in Miami. We have bankers in all banks, and they open the bank accounts, they open the corporate bank account, they open the personal bank account, and then they are good to go. Of course, it takes even there some time to warm up the bank account, but you have all good private bankers, especially if you put a good amount of money there, and then it's fine. And then we have other type of clients who say, hey, my Relay, my Wise, my Mercury, my Stripe is blocked right now. I need help right now. And then we offer our clients our management services, which means our team can open a company and bank accounts for them and manage this bank accounts for them. Of course, it's just faster, no really minimum balance. It's just all works more smoothly, but both works. Both works because we work with great banks. And this is most important because right now you're worried and you think you have too much money, but believe me, you don't have too much money. You just live in the wrong bubble, in the wrong perspective. While if you're surrounded by higher performers and you are in a bank which manages billions, then you all see that it's not that much. We usually work with a few banks. The first bank is Bank of America. Just open a few bank accounts there. Definitely a good option. We also offer work with Citibank. Citibank is all over the world, and I like Citibank. And then our number one bank, like I always tell you guys, is obviously Chase JP Morgan. Chase JP Morgan is great. Both things are great, honestly. Personal banking and business banking. So here you just see a few flyers that I brought from my last Miami trip where I didn't really have time to film. So here you have Chase Business, Chase Platinum Banking, and we have a great banker there. They can manage everything for you. They don't send out the wires and do everything on autopilot anymore, but we can offer you this management services. So we can send you the wires, we can do accounting for you because even if it's maybe not required in the system, many clients need accounting. We can take care of all of this. The same like we take care of fulfillment for our clients because obviously if everything is in place, it works even better. But yeah, this is the business banking. I have Chase Sapphire, Chase Inc., all kinds of credit cards, obviously, that you get directly. And this was the best decision ever. And when it comes to the personal banking, you have Chase Private Client. Chase Private Client, also definitely great. And again, you just don't need to worry anymore about your banking because you realize, hey, now I'm in a safe bank. You just sit there. There's your business banker. There's your personal banker. There's your JP Morgan investment advisor. It's just absolutely great. So this is usually what we do. These are the main banks that we work with. And again, I'm such a big fan because even if you don't like these banks, they just help you everywhere around the world. If you have good bank statements with Chase JP Morgan, these bank statements as a proof of fund are accepted in the Middle East, accepted in Europe, accepted in Asia. They are your entry ticket to whatever you need. You need a new crypto broker. It's just really great. It works perfectly. And my team has access to these accounts. They log in from everywhere. No more issues at all. They send the wires. They send 100K. They send 1 million wires. So usually with the regular Chase Platinum banking, you can directly make a minimum of 500K per transaction. So you can pay suppliers and pay whoever you want without 500 transactions and without end-level amounts of KYC, because once you're in with the bank, you are in. The US is just still controlling the world, which means they can do whatever they want, basically. And this is what you can see in the banking system. Why all great countries try their best, but they always need to do more KYC, more reports, more this, exchange more data. While, and this is the funny part, US business bank accounts still have no data exchange. So while the whole world needs to send data to the US is not sending data of their business to anybody. It's the tax haven, which nobody sees as a tax haven. And yeah, we live still in a world which is connected to the West, where the West controls right now. It can change in the future, but this is the status quo. So you maximize the system, use the system, and the banking system is definitely the way to go. So then you have good banking, good bank statements. You can add your team. You have your banker. You have us. We help you. You get the best credits cards with Chase, and then you already have the ultimate setup. What's left? Left is step number 6, and this is local payment processing. Most of our clients, of course, get started with Shopify payments. They get started with Stripe or some other similar payment processors, payment aggregators, but sooner or earlier, they run into problems because they do a mistake, too much chargebacks, too high risk, money is on hold, they get paranoid, they get anxiety, and that's why you usually work on getting you real payment processing, either directly with the banks, directly with Chase, directly with Bank of America, or with payment processors who are underwritten with these banks. And for this is obviously great if you already have the LLC with ITIN, if you have already good local banking, because if you have 3 months of local bank statements, if you have a social security signer in the US, if you have a clear business with clear activity, then it's good to get great local payment processing. With local payment processing, the KYC and the onboarding takes more time. It's not like Stripe where you can get started on the first day. But once you're onboarded, the same like once you're onboarded with these local banks, it's also nothing where all of a sudden you get restricted. No, once you're in, you are in. And that's why I always recommend get into banks as soon as possible, because every single year things get more difficult. And this track record builds up. So the sooner you are in the system, the better it is for you. And at this step, after step 6, you have everything. You have your LLC, you have great local banking, you have great payment processing, you have good credit cards for your ads. So there's basically nothing left. And then in the steps afterwards, usually our clients ask us for help for merchant cash advance, for funding, to expand, or our clients ask us for help with fulfillment. We know the owners of all fulfillment centers where we can help you. And this is usually what we do. So we manage all your operations worldwide. We have great international tax advisors. Of course, this is a little disclaimer. This video here is no tax advice at all, and you should always consult with a professional. But yeah, we can consult you with international tax advisors, with our bankers. We can manage everything for you here in the UAE, manage everything for you in the US, so that you have no headache anymore, no worries at all. And these are the 2 ways for you to go. So these are 6, 7 steps. The first way is you do everything by yourself. On you wait some time, or the other option is that you choose our management services and that we just manage everything from you, from company to wires to accounting. And this depends on your preferences. We have clients who are extremely conservative and they say, I want that nobody has access to anything. And for us, it's totally fine. We prepare your documents. We just send you to our bankers in Miami and you can do these things by yourself. And then we have other clients who say, hey, I just want to focus on my business. I want to scale. I want to go from 1 million to 10 million this month. And these clients usually want that we just manage everything for them. And they just don't want to have any work with anything. And this is totally fine for us because we always call our all-inclusive offers where you don't need to figure out even one thing by yourself. So everything, even if it's small details like insurance, leaving your country, communicating with this entity, if it's about shipping, we help you with all these steps. This is our offer. So guys, I hope this video could help you. And if you want to learn more about how we can help you to grow and protect your wealth, then just go to wealthconsulting.com, book a call with us, and I would say see you at the call, see you in the next video, or see you in real life.